Welcome, students. In this session, I am going to tell you about the chapter Database Management System. In this chapter, you will learn what is data and information, the difference between the data and information, what is database, need for database, advantages of the database, and few new terms that are related to the relational database management system. These are the topics which we are going to study today. Now the first topic that what I am going to discuss, that is very simple topic, that is data and information. What is data and what is information? First of all, I have collected few numbers and I am giving you 10 numbers randomly, like 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and after that I am saying these numbers are the 10-digit phone number of anyone else. First, all the numbers are in their raw forms, means when you collected the information like name of anyone, age of anyone, SR number of anyone, Aadhaar number of anyone. But if you have tabulated all these data into a specified way, into a ordered manner, then this data becomes the information. So you can say when the data is in its raw form, means you cannot derive any particular meaning from the data that what you have, then this is known as the data. Raw facts and figures means you cannot derive any meaning from that data. But if the data is assembled in such a order from which you can arrange, you can derive any type of meaning, then this is known as the information. You can take one more example. Like I am writing apple, APPLE. If the words are jumbled, all 5 words are jumbled, means PAPEL in such form, then what will happen? All words are there, but you cannot derive any particular meaning from all these 5 words. But if all these 5 letters are arranged in a particular manner, then it becomes a fruit, that is apple, and now you are able to understand that we are talking about the fruit, that is apple. So when a data is processed, arranged, or any type of operation can be done on that particular data, then it becomes to the information. So this is the basic difference between the data and the information. Now I will discuss that what is database. So before starting with the main topic about the database, let's discuss the term base. What is base? You have listened about the term already, that is army base or the terrorist base. Means when we are talking about base, we can say any particular thing in a huge number, then that particular location or the place is called as base. Now here we are talking about database. So as in the army base, there are huge number of the soldiers are there, then in the similar way, if I am talking about the database, so there are in a large number of data or the information is gathered at a single place, and that place is known as the database. So we are talking about the place may be any register, any copy, or in any computer. If we are arranging data in any proper manner, then that particular location of the table is known as the database. So what you can say, with the help of the database, you can arrange your data in any particular manner, in any particular order, so that you can gather a result from that database. For example, you can see your attendance register in your class, or you can see the index of your copy or your book. So there everything is written in any proper manner, means the name of the chapter, the pages, the starting page or the ending page. So all these information is written in a proper manner in your copy. Similarly, in the attendance register, each your attendance of every day, in the last the total calculation, the total percentage of your attendance is there. So what is the register? Register is a database about your present and the absent in the classroom. So when you are collecting data in any particular place, in any particular location, that particular location is known as the database. Now coming to the next topic, that is database management software. what is database management software? Now we are talking about the system, or you can say the software. And when we talk about the term software, we are talking about the term computer. Means if we want to store a database in any system or in any computer system, then the software we are using, that is database management system, or you can say database system. For example, in MS Windows there is a database system, that is Access, ACCESS. That is the Access window that is provided with the MS Office package, and from the Access you can store your database in the computer system, and with the help of the database you can collect or assemble your data in a proper order. Now moving forward, the next topic is advantages of database management system, that why we need a software to arrange our data. So there are few advantages that are written here. I will discuss it one by one. The first advantage is elimination of the data redundancy. So without starting with the term elimination, you should know what is redundancy. So the data redundancy means duplication of the data. Means if data about any particular person, any particular place is stored more than one time at a particular place, then this type of repetition of the data is called as the data redundancy or the data duplicacy. For example, as I had taken the example of your attendance register, if there are 30 students in your class and by mistake your teacher has repeated the name of any other student in that particular register, then what will happen? One data is repeated every day. So this type of mistake is called as the data redundancy or the data duplicacy. But when we are storing our data in the database management system or in any particular softwares, there are some different types of checks available. With help of that checks, the data redundancy can be prevented. So when you are using database software, database management system, then what will happen? The data redundancy can be eliminated. Eliminated means to deduct anything means if there is any type of duplicacy, the duplicacy can be deducted with the help of the database management system. Means if there is any repetition of the data, then with the help of the database management system you can check that there is no any repetition of the data will be there. Okay, hope I am clear about the data redundancy. Now moving to the next topic, that is data consistency. So there is a relation between the data redundancy and the data consistency. If there is data redundancy or the duplication of the data is there in the database, then there may be a chance of data consistency also. If there is no any data consistency, data redundancy, then there is no any data consistency. Means the presence of the data consistency is depend upon the data redundancy. Data redundancy leads to data consistency. Now I am going to explain how. As I had taken the example that in attendance register the name of the any student is repeated 2 times in the same page or in the attendance of the same month. For example, there is a boy named Ravi, and at one place the attendance of the Ravi is marked present, and on the same day the attendance of the Ravi is marked absent. Now at the day of the final calculation, if someone is calculating the data, means the name of the person is same, everything is same, but one place there is written present and one place there is written absent. So what is happened? Which data considered as the true, or he may be present on that day, he may be absent on that day. So we don't have any proof that the which data is true. So this type of problem may appear if there is any repetition of the data, and this type of problem is called as data consistency. So if there is repetition of the data, it may be possible that the changes we are going to meet in the a particular record has been done from one place, and that change will not be made at the second place. Then what will happen? This type of data leads to data inconsistency. So if there is data redundancy, means if there is duplication of the data, then there may be data inconsistency, and if there is no any duplication of the data, then there is no any data redundancy. Now moving forward, the next topic is sharing of the data. As we are working on the software, we are working on the system, you all know that with the help of the different chatting window, you can say, or by emailing, by any type of like telegram, you can send data from one place to another, and when it is in the form of the soft copy, it is easy to send the data from one place to another, as nowadays you are doing. For example, if we have to send any particular page, what we do, we scan it and create the PDF of the page, and we can easily transmit the page from one place to another place. And similarly, if we have database in the soft copy in any software, we can easily send it from one client or one user to another user. So by making the soft copy of the database, it becomes easy to share the copy of the database from one person to another person. And the second is reduce programming effort. As we all know that with the help of the computer, the human efforts has been reduced. So when we are working with the computer, then what will happen, it is very easy to search the data or to find the data. For example, you are all aware about the search option available in various applications, various softwares. For example, if you have to send any particular message to Mr. XYZ, and in the WhatsApp group you are not finding the name, then what you will do, just click on the search and write XYZ, and you have the chat window of that particular person. So with the help of the chatting means search option, it becomes true. Similarly, if you have to search any data, any name from the list of the 50,000 people, then what will happen, if there is search option available, just type the name, and what will happen, the particular name of the person will pop up, or it may of different color. So it may be done with the help of the database management system, that is a software available in the computer system. The next advantage we have, that is improved data integrity. So what is integrity? Integrity means the validity and the consistency of the data. Means our data is valid. It should be valid when I am going to store it in any particular database. So as I had told you earlier, there are variety of checks available when we are working on any particular software. So with the help of those checks, you can keep your data valid, like no one can enter the zero, no one can, if you had made a check that if your database is date of birth is less than any particular age, then no one is able to enter the data. So if someone enters the age according to that particular check, then he may not be able to log in your database. So such kind of checks are available. With the help of such kind of checks, you can say that your data is valid, means your data is true or consistent. The next topic is privacy and security. As you all know, when we are working on any particular software, there are a condition available that you can provide the password to your system, and there may be different type of security is also available. So with the help of your password and login ID, your data may be secure, and there is no any breach of data may happen in your database. And there is backup and recovery system also. When you are working with a system, there are many backup softwares are also available that can take the backup of your database. So if due to any reason the system crash down, or your anything thing mishappened with your database, then what will happen, the backup of the database is there in your system, or it may be there in any CD or in any pen drive or any external hard disk, in any type of storage device you can take the backup. So with the help of the backup you will have your database again in your system. So all these things can be happened with the help of the database management system. So what is database management system? Database management system is a software. With the help of that particular software you can computerize your data and you can implement such type of securities or checks or the validity on your database. Now here is a new term, that is a relational database management system, or simply relational database. The first term that what I am going to discuss, that is entity. So entity is something about that you are storing or keeping the data. If you are keeping the data of a student, then the student is the entity. If you are keeping the data about vehicles, then the vehicle is the entity. If you are keeping the data about any type of goods, then the good is the entity. If you are trying to store the data about the grocery elements that you have, then the grocery is the entity. So in a short, according to that particular system, about what you are storing the data is called the entity. The next is attribute. Attribute means the features. Like you are storing the data about the student, so the student is the entity. The name of the student, the age of the student, the phone number of the student, the parent name, their address, their Aadhaar number, means the information about the student is called the attribute, or that is called the field or the name of the column. Listen it carefully. Attribute, that are the fields of the table, or you can say the name of the columns of the table is called the attribute. If you are keeping the data about the vehicle, then the type of the vehicle, model of the vehicle, engine number, chassis number, or any other information about that particular vehicle, so these are the attributes of the vehicle. Similarly, if you are keeping the details about the grocery items, then the name of the item, amount of the item, expiry date, MFD date, so these type of details about that grocery item is known as the attribute. Now the next is degree of a relation. Now what is relation? When we are talking about the relational database management system, then the tables are called a relation. So here the degree of the relation means the degree of the table. So what is the degree of the table? Means the total number of the columns that a table has is called the degree of the table. Means if I am storing the record of the student, then student is the entity. Now I am storing the name, address, mother's name, father's name, Aadhaar number. There are 5 records I am keeping of that particular student. Then these 5 details are known as the attribute of the students, and the total number of means altogether 5 is the degree of the table or the degree of the relation. So again, the total number of the columns in a table is called the degree of the relation. Now tuple is a new word. Simply we know the row. A row in a table is called the tuple. Means any individual information is known as the row, and when we are talking about the relational database management system, then we can say row is called the tuple. And one new term, that is the cardinality of the relationship. So the total number of the tuple or the row have a table is called the cardinality of the relationship. As you can see in the example, so there are ID, name, section, DOB and gender all together. 5 columns, 3 rows. Now here I am keeping the record about the student. So the student is the entity in this example. There are 5 attributes of the student: the ID, the name, section, DOB and the gender. Altogether 5 columns, so the degree of the relation is 5. There are 3 row or the tuple. Every row is known as the tuple. So the cardinality of the table is 3. And individual row is called the record or is called the entry. So these are the few terms about the relational database management system. You have to keep in mind these terms when we were going for the practical section of the database. Now there are some more important topics that are known as the database keys. So what are the keys? The first key that what I am going to discuss, that is primary key. So what is primary key? When you are keeping the record of any student, there may be some things common in more student, or there are some attributes that are not common, or you can say that are unique in the students. For example, you can see often there are name of 2 students are same, like Abhishek Pal. It is the natural example of your class now. Then for when we are talking the manually, we are keeping the Abhishek Pal 1 and Abhishek Pal 2. But when we are storing in the database, we can't do na. If we are writing 1 and 2 in front of their name, it will change the whole identity. It will change the name of the student. So we will have to keep the name as it is. So now, if I am asking that identify me the record of the student Abhishek Pal, then what will happen? There are 2 Abhishek Pal. Then how you can distinguish between these 2? So there may be something that is unique between the rows, unique in the record. So these type of unique field or unique column is normally known as the primary key. For example, there may be many things common in the school. If I am talking about the school, your SR number means your serial number in the school is unique for every student. If you are talking from the very beginning of the school until now, you cannot find any 2 students having the same SR number. So if any previous student need his or her record, then he has to tell only the SR number or the serial number, then we are able to find the record of the student. Maybe there are many students of the same name, the address may also same. Some often you can say the parents' name are also same. It may possible, it may be a case, but few things like the SR number, like the roll number in the board examination, like your Aadhaar card number, like your PAN number, like your driver license number, that can't be same for the 2 person. Even they are sibling, even they are living in the same house, each number is unique. So when you are asked to select the primary key from the table, you will have to search for that particular unique attribute of the student or any entity. For example, if you are keeping the record of the grocery, then the barcode that is on that packaging of that particular grocery is unique for every product. So the barcode is the primary key. With the help of the barcode, you will be able to identify every record of any particular grocery item. If you are keeping the record for the vehicle, then the chassis number or the engine number is the completely different for any devices. So vehicle, so you can say the chassis number may be the primary number of any particular vehicle type of field. So you have to select any field that are unique in the table. So with the help of that unique field or unique column, you will be able to identify the record of any particular student, and this type of unique record or unique field is known as the primary key. Okay, So the primary key is the compulsory field of any table. You cannot left blank while you are entering the data in the table, and that can be not null attribute also, means if you want to enter the null for that particular data, you can't do it. So this is the primary key, means the unique attribute of the record is known as the primary key. Hope it is clear to all. Now the next topic is candidate key. So what is candidate key? So there may be more than one record, one attribute in the table that is unique. Like if you are storing the Aadhaar number of the student, the SR number of the student, then both of the record and the both of the attribute are unique. The Aadhaar number of two student cannot be common, and the SR number of the student is also not same of two students. So these two attributes are the unique attribute. So if you have to select the primary key, you may have two options like the SR number and roll number may be also there, Aadhaar number may be also there. There may be three fields. So all these three fields that are having the quality of the primary key are known as the candidate key. Once again, all the attribute having the unique feature that can be selected as the primary key are known as the candidate key. Means, for example, if there are 4 students and from among these 4 students you have to select any one, then all the 4 students are known as the candidate. Similarly, if there are more than one field is in the table that have the unique characteristics or can stand for the primary key, then all these fields are known as the candidate key. The next key is the alternate key. So what is alternate key? From the candidate key, after selecting the primary key, the leftover attributes are known as the alternate key. Now try to understand with the help of an example. For example, if there are Aadhaar number, SR number and roll number in a table, all these three attributes are the unique attributes. You may select any one of as the primary key, then all three attributes are known as the candidate key. You have selected one of them as the primary key, then there are two fields are left, and these two fields or the attribute that are left are known as the alternate key. Means from the candidate key, when the primary key is the selected, the other keys having the unique feature are known as the alternate key. And the next key I have, that is the foreign key. So what is foreign key? Foreign key is used to create the relationship between the two tables, and with the help of the foreign key you will be able to access the data from one table to another table. It will be more clear when we are discussing about the practical part. So these are the 4 keys that you can use in the database when you are storing the data in the computer system. Now this is all about today's session. Hope you will be able to understand it. Thank you.